what we cannot ignore is the things that have set us back as a community. The reason we are not where we're supposed to be is because we are still only a couple of decades away from what we have been oppressed from. And
the reason we're not where we're supposed to be is because of the phrase, we're supposed to be.
The user had to say about it.
Not racist, and I know y'all been told this is racist, but it's not. It's not racist to call black people out for their behavior and what they're doing to society at this moment. I'm glad people are noticing this because it's been so many years and it's finally catching up to y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all that white people are tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all too, but everybody, the world is getting sick of y'all and y'all's. I'm so glad this day is here. I've been trying to get out there that you people need help. It's me, but me and other black conservatives. We've been trying to warn society that this is what it's gonna come to when y'all keep coddling black people.
Alrighty, are her feelings valid? Joining.
So if you guys don't know what this video is about, it's about the new viral term called black fatigue that's being coined on social media now. This term basically implies their fatigue for black people in general. Although this woman boiled it down to fatigue for ignorant black people, and that could be possibly be the meaning. My initial understanding, well, that's actually how it's being used on social media. People are using it for a term of they're fatigued by ignorant black people. Let me know what you guys think about that term. I'll get into my thoughts about it a little later, but this video will be talking about it on a panel. Some people agree with it, some people disagree with it. Let's go.
Us to talk about it, Dr. Angela Jones, political analyst, Angela Box, activist, Eugene Howard, filmmaker Sean Welling, and conservative M. Williams. We want to thank you all for joining us here on The Factor. First of all, let's define what black fatigue is supposed to be, Dr. Jones.
Black fatigue is supposed to be just and I'm trying to make it as short as possible. Basically, society is saying that they're tired of how black people are blaming things that have happened to us historically in the past on what's happening today. And they are also now adding different things that they have seen in society to that behavior as well. As she said, like loud mouthing or maybe, using certain words or certain behaviors in public. So that's basically the definition in a short sense.
Do we get anywhere with that, with this conversation?
No, this absolutely.
Okay, good night, folks.
I mean, the thing is, it's an absolutely pointless conversation. It's like, okay, so now what? Thank you for letting us know that there's a new fancy word of you saying that you're tired of black people, and you put it on the internet, and now people are co-signing on it, including with the way the environment is already. But it's okay. You put a nice new name to it, and now you feel like it's okay to say. And it's not going to do anything for anybody to now pander this term around, to pass it on in the internet and put it in people's mouth and make people feel encouraged to say, I have black fatigue. But when we're all tired, when I'm saying, we're all tired of something and somewhere, there's always something. So this is not actually going to help anyone psychologically, mentally, emotionally. It's only going to create more divisiveness, more anger, and more hate in society.
And when we see a lot of people, especially black people, joining that chorus, saying that I'm tired of black people too, what will that do?
It's not going to do anything, because here's the thing, that black person or the black people that are on the internet saying that can go somewhere and they're going to be already stereotyped into the group that they're trying to separate themselves from just because they're black. You actually have to be around people to see their behavior. You have to witness their behavior to actually understand who they are. But she could sit there and be in a crowd of a room of black people, and guess who she's going to be included in that group as well. She's not doing anything that is going to help her or her race at this time.
All right, Angela.
I think the biggest problem that we just refuse to acknowledge in the black community is how we aided to our downfall. And what am I talking about? LFR Jojo, what do you mean? How did you aid to your downfall? Currently, as it stands, black people were some of the lowest earning people in the United States. It's been this way for a long time. We are some of the lowest married people in the United States. I mean, we have some of the lowest amounts of two-parent households. We are ironically some of the biggest entertainers in the United States and some of the most famous athletes in the United States, but we are still one of the lowest when it comes to owning institutions in the United States. We're one of the lowest when it comes to college degrees especially black men in the United States. So the only reason I bring up all these things is because when you look at black culture and the things that we value and the things that we complain about, we never complain about our children getting all A's and being denied from the school. We never talk about that. We never complain about us being super high in marriage rates but being turned down for mortgages or stuff like that. You may hear a few times, but we never complain about that. We complain about white people. We complain about police brutality. White people, police brutality. White people, police brutality. And don't get me wrong, there are some corrupt cops out there and there are some racist people out there in any single race. But the biggest issues in the black community are our issues that we created. But every time I watch these shows, every time, and if I'm wrong, correct me, you're rarely ever going to hear a black person say, we can do better as a race. We can do better. You never hear that. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because when we hear the term black fatigue, that is a response to how people perceive us in the world. If we were out here doing everything we had to do, and we were out here fighting the good fight, we were sending our kids to school, we were getting good grades, we were entering careers that pay a lot, we were getting married, we were starting families, we were doing everything we do, we didn't have super high crime rates, and we were still getting discriminated against, there would be something. People would be like, oh yeah, people are racist towards black people. But what's happening? We're some of the highest in homicide rates, some of the lowest in mortgage rates, some of the lowest in marriage rates, some of the lowest in college degrees. Not trying to shame black people at all, because I'm obviously black. But we still blame other races when we can fix our biggest issues. That's why this term exists. But what do I know? What do I know? Don't know anything, right? Let's continue.
Let's hear from you. Your thoughts about this black fatigue.
Well, with all due respect to Angela, number one, I really disagree with this. It is a completely behavior-based issue. And when white people, black people, Hispanic people are saying we have black fatigue because of the behavior of some black people, we've all seen it. We all know what it is. It's everywhere. And, you know, the issue is way more insidious than people realize. And I talk about how a lot of these things come back to what the Democrat Party has done to the black community purposefully, starting with the Great Society of Lyndon B. Johnson, who he famously said, I'm going to have these N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. When Democrats said you don't need fathers in the home, you can be on welfare and have as many babies as you want. And oh, by the way, we're going to destroy public schools and we're going to make sure that behavior standards are seen as racist. So the out of control behavior that we've seen in the classrooms, in society, all over, is part and parcel of what the Democrat Party has done to the black community.
All right, Eugene, let's hear from you before we have to take a break.
Man, why are we all... What does the Democrat Party have to do with black fatigue?
Everything.
Hold on. Okay, first of all, I think he asked Eugene. So last time I checked, I'm Eugene on stage. So the Democratic Party has nothing to do with black fatigue. What the original term from the actual black community of black fatigue was after every other community decided to vote, since you want to talk politics, Donald Trump, then black folks said, we're going to sit this one out. We're going to let this thing burn down and we're going to go have a good time because we're tired. We have been struggling. Our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-great-great-great-grandparents have been fighting this same fight. So if you guys want to...
Bro, you have not been fighting the same fight as your great-great-great-grandparents. What are you talking about? Your great-great-great-great-grandparents, they wore chains because they were slaves. They had to pick cotton for 18 hours a day. They were in cornfields, being beaten. You are wearing bust-down golden chains for a flex. You're wearing bust-down chains because they look nice, with diamonds glistening out the suit jacket. What struggle do you have that even matches your great-great-great-grandparents? What struggles do you have that matches your ancestors? They fought, literally. They died for us to have a great life. And here you are pretending, cosplaying as knowing their struggles. And that's what happens. That's kind of why a phrase like black fatigue exists. And mind you, I don't agree with the phrase black fatigue. I don't really like the phrase, but I understand it because I'm not an idiot. I understand where it's coming from. The reason this phrase exists is because you have a man up here who's an activist, ironically, wearing 3 diamond and gold chains, pretending as if he's fighting this unbearable fight for civil rights. This is the most ironic thing I've ever seen. This is the most ironic thing I've ever seen. It's kind of like a joke. You got to be kidding, right? Like, you have to be kidding. Mind you, the black community does have problems. We need to do better in our schools. Black kids can't read at the levels they're supposed to read at. They aren't getting high-paying careers. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber, a streamer, or an athlete, or an entertainer. Everybody. We need more doctors, lawyers, engineers, plumbers, electricians, tradesmen. We need more. We need more people. But here you are, a leader in the black community. Bust down chains, pretending as if he's fighting a good fight. It's a joke. This is a joke.
He said the N-word. Why don't you guys feel so comfortable? Just say it. Just go ahead and say the N-word. If it's so okay, if you're so fatigued, if you don't want to recognize the civil rights plight, go ahead and say the N-word. No one's stopping you. It's a free country,
not on
right?
this show, Eugene.
I mean, I'm just
about
saying.
to lose me my show.
but that's my point. It's a lot of things that they want to use code words, whether it's DEI, whether it's black fatigue. They just want to be able to say the N-word without being able to say the N-word.
So do you not find certain behaviors objectionable? Or you think it's cool?
Listen, I live in a real community. I see a whole bunch of unruly white folks, Hispanic folks. So it's not just the black community, but we always want to emphasize on black when it's negative.
All right, we'll take a break there. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue our discussion after the break. Welcome back to
Let me know what you guys think about what he just said, because obviously I don't fully agree with it. I think it's not that I don't. I just don't. I think it's hypocritical. I really do. I think it's extremely hypocritical. Bro.
The Factor Uncensored. We continue our discussion on black fatigue tonight. The feeling involves the stress that some black people deal with when it comes to constant exposure to racism. But there are people on both sides and inside and outside the black community who say they are tired of hearing about it. Our guests are back here on The Factor. Madeline, let's begin with you. As a conservative, your thoughts about black fatigue.
Well, whether you like black fatigue as a name or not, it's the truth. Like, we're tired of the victimhood mentality, the trauma identification, the need for external, agreement. That's ridiculous. That's terrible for the black community right now. That's terrible for the children growing up. I mean, there's so many broken homes, and I think that's the core foundation. Number one, I believe the core foundation is that the parents failed to not only unify the home, but also failed to put true identity in God in the children. So if you don't have identity in God, you don't have identity at all. That's number one.
Do you at all see the black community as a lost cause, or just
Absolutely
some
not.
individuals? What?
I don't believe the black community is a lost cause at all. I just believe that we need to stop as a whole with all of this complaining. We need to move past the past and, become better. As an American, my parents were actually Nigerian. They came here in the 80s and they grew up here. They had me and my brothers, and we're all successful and not one complaint through our entire childhood. They said, work for what you need, work for what you're gonna get, and you will get it.
I will say this, if your parents were immigrants, then the African American past, and I'm referring to the civil rights movement, and I'm referring to slavery, literally isn't your past. And I'm not saying that to shame you. I'm just saying it's not your past. And I will also say I don't think black people should move past the past necessarily, because the past is history. It's a part of your history. The same way if you go to China, they study the Qing dynasty because that's their history. Or you talk to any Caucasian American person, they could probably name their great-great-great-grandmother. I don't know. So you shouldn't move past the past as in forget it. I will say this, black people need to stop being hypocritical. They need to stop pretending like they're struggling. And I think that's the problem. You can't pretend like you're struggling, but then wear 3 diamond chains. That is hypocritical, and people see that. You can't pretend like you're struggling and always have the new shoes, always have the new car, always have money in your pocket, always eat out, always do what you want. You can't pretend like you're struggling and then disrespect everybody who even tries to help you. You can't pretend like you're struggling and still not try in school and still not try your hardest and still shame people for doing this. This is the problem with the black community. Hypocrites. It's hypocritical. So black fatigue isn't necessarily about people's connections to the past or to slavery, because every person has a connection to their family's history or to America's history in general, who are natively American. It's about the hypocrisy. It's genuinely about the hypocrisy. When other races see black people, they're like, what do you mean you need more resources? You have everything that I don't have. That's the problem. It's hypocritical. That's what it is. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Placed talent in all of us, black, white, whatever you may, call yourself, but God placed, all of these great things within us. Why should I now say, oh, well, a white person thinks this of me, or there's racism here and there? I don't think about that. I don't wake up every morning and have racism and all of these negative things on my mind. I move forward and I move past that.
All right, Sean, let's hear from you. Your thoughts about this conversation and the term that we now hear.
And again, I was so taken by your speech. The term we're talking about is black, what was it again? It's
fatigue.
Okay, so on black fatigue, and coming from somebody, and I think I agree with her tremendously, having a school for 3 decades, it was the first hip-hop dance school in the country. It's a cancer to tell a young kid that they're oppressed, that they're less than, and the world's against them. Right from the beginning, you're setting a standard by which they have to overcome something, when really you need to put God in them and tell them how great things are for them.
Amen.
So I was never around black people to complain. All the actors and dancers I was around, they had a sense of purpose. They were dynamic and they never complained. So to me, it's really what I get is in social media is a lot of white people complaining and creating this problem, saying, look, watch out, these people are in trouble. I'm like, back off. Let them create their own destiny.
Absolutely.
So I don't see that as being the black issue. I see more of a liberal white situation when they're not even in a position to complain or talk about it. They're virtue signaling, and it drives us nuts.
Okay.
Dr. Jones?
The conversation that we're having here is whether black fatigue is a real thing. But the problem is that the reason this topic has come back up is because of the viral video that recently came out of the woman that called a 5-year-old autistic kid the N-word. And then she raised $700,000 by a Christian organization, and I am Christian as well, so I just want to put that out there as well. And she raised $300,000 from another organization. I don't know if she actually got that money, but then this video from the person who originally started putting this on TikTok came out in reference to that.
Yeah.
Now, I am a first-generation American as well, and I was taught a certain way as well, but what we cannot ignore is the things that have set us back as a community. The reason we are not where we're supposed to be is because we are still only a couple of decades away from what we have been oppressed from and the things that we have gone from.
The reason we're not where we're supposed to be is because of the phrase we're supposed to be. Where are we supposed to be? And the reason I ask that is because if you say we're supposed to be the leading class in America economically, we're supposed to be the smartest race in America, where are we supposed to be? And that's a real question. What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Are we supposed to be the #1 economic class in America? If we are supposed to be the #1 economic class in America, why are we the least represented race in highest paying fields other than basketball, football, and rapping and entertainment? If we're supposed to be the #1 economic class, why are we the least represented? Why are black children picking these careers at the lowest clip? Where are we supposed to be? Because this is something I've thought about for a while. You are asking for handouts, I'm not gonna lie. Because what are we doing in real life society today to prove that we're supposed to be there? And I'm not saying black people are lazy. That's not the case at all. I'm black. There are extremely hardworking black people in this country. They're extremely hardworking people in general. I'm saying as a conglomerate because this video is about the phrase black fatigue. It's not about you necessarily. As a conglomerate, we need to do better, bro. And we need to stop pretending like we're doing everything we're supposed to do. We're just not. We're not. If we were, that would be a different discussion. But we're not. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video. My name is LFR Jojo. Let me know if you disagree with me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.